so beautiful. Huh, Arnold?
So what did you guys get each other?
Yeah, 31. What gift is that? Silver, ivory.
Oh, we got each other the new cable subscription.
Oh, great.
It's a lot of channels.
All right, if this scene from the new movie Hope Springs with Meryl Streep and Tommy Lee Jones looks like your marriage, well, you want to get some tips from our next guest. Yeah, author Sheryl Kurland just released a book called Everlasting Matrimony, Pearls of Wisdom from Couples Married 50 Years or More, in which she talks about the 10 tips that will save your marriage at midlife. And Sheryl joins us today on Good Day. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, very quickly, what made you decide you want to write a book on this?
This was launched when my in-laws celebrated their 50th anniversary, and there was a parade of celebrity divorces, which there always is. And I thought, we always hear about divorce, but we never hear the good advice from couples married 50 years or more. And I decided to bottle it all up and create a book.
I will say this, I know quite a few couples married more than 50 years. They just seem so happy. So obviously they got something right along the way, didn't they?
They got a lot right, and when you meet them, you see they always have that twinkle in their eye. It never fades.
That spark. Okay, so let's talk about some of these tips here that you found, all right?
Yes.
I'll read them out here. You tell me what you think. Accept that neither of you are exactly the same person as when you got married. We all change, right?
Yes, events and experiences change us, and what you have to do is think of your marriage as a business, and a business sometimes needs to be restructured, and a relationship needs to be restructured. But when you restructure the relationship, don't look backwards and try to recapture. You want to look forward and see what can be in the future.
We all change. We'd be in denial if we thought, oh, I can be the same person now as I am in the future, right?
That's true. And you have to accept that you're going to change, but the core person actually stays the same. All the things you married and love and the characteristics, they pretty much stay the same.
Still there. Okay, the next thing you found here, look in a mirror. Would you marry you? That's a great question.
Right. And this is not about being skinny or having a six-pack. It's more about staying attractive to your mate. Would you marry you?
Okay, the next tip here, peel back arguments to identify their roots and modify interpretation. What do you mean by peeling back the arguments?
Okay, what happens when you're arguing about a topic, if you stop and you think, why are we arguing? It's usually because one person has a strength, the other has a weakness. One person knows more, is more experienced, has more information about it. So when you pit a strength against a weakness, you get an argument. And instead, what a couple needs to do is take those two things, the strength and the weakness, and you blend it together, and then you have harmony.
It's funny, I just read the other day that the bulk of our arguments over the course of our marriage are over the exact same thing. It's like we never learn in the arguments, we just keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
Right, and actually the book is full of tips on how to fix arguments forever.
And maybe that leads into your next point here. Don't stick to the same old patterns, routines, and habits.
Right, what's boring? And what you need to do is you have a brainstorming meeting and you create ideas. And from that idea list is your plan of action to spice up the relationship.
And here's another one that I would like to get better at in my relationship. Create a couple tradition. Now, what did you find? These people who are married 50 years or more, what were some of the traditions you found to kind of help us out?
I thought this was great because families have traditions, so why don't couples have traditions? One of the cool ones that I heard was a wife said, I love folded potato chips, the crinkled up ones. So whenever they eat potato chips, the husband hands them to her and she says, that's a love note to me every time he gives me a potato chip.
So it's simple. It can be very simple.
Very simple.
Wow, that's good stuff. Plus,
right.
I'd love to hear some of the other stories. You can read more about those in the book. Where can you get the book? I assume it's out there in all the normal places.
The website is everlastingmatrimony.com.
Can you find it in some bookstores as well, I would assume?
It's available on Amazon.com and everlastingmatrimony.com.
And of course, we'll put the link on our website so you can find it. Great stuff. Thanks so much for your time
Thank
today.
you. It's been a pleasure.
Hope we all learned something on that. Sheryl Kurland, you can find more on the book on myfoxorlando.com.